Hi one and all. Today I am going to present on the topic called environmental appraisal. First of all, we have to check what is an environment according to a business point of view or a management point of view. In a business point of view, a business environment is all the components that affect the business. These include both the internal and external factors. Environment simply means where the business exists and what are all the factors that affect a business and its life, which can be classified into internal environment and external environment. The internal environment means that are controllable by the organization themselves, the factors or the scenarios that can be controlled by themselves, or the organization themselves is known as internal environment. And the external environment means the factors that are uncontrollable by the organizations, or they are apart from the organization, but it also shapes the resources of the, or it also affects the resources of the organization or our business. Then what is environmental appraisal? Environmental appraisal means assessing, evaluating and identifying the opportunities, threats that an organization faces. It also known as environmental analysis or environmental scanning. The environmental appraisal is also known as environmental analysis and environmental scanning. Environmental analysis is a important tool for the strategic planning and decision making in business. It helps business to adapt changing the circumstances and select the best options for the growth and success. Then we have to discuss about the importance of environment appraisal. So the importance of environment appraisal. The first one is identifying the opportunities and threats, which means through conducting an environmental appraisal or assessing the business environment, or conducting environmental scanning, we can identify what all are the opportunities and threats that a business exists, or opportunities and threats that exist in a business. Opportunities. By understanding the external trends and changes, organizations can identify new markets. It's an opportunity. The opportunities are wide variety. First opportunity is new markets, new product, technologies, etc. So, by conducting an environmental appraisal, we can achieve such opportunities, or we can identify some of the opportunities. And the next one, we can identify the threats. Threats means economic downturns, increased competition, regulatory changes. What we are struggling, and we have to, threats means what we are struggling, or what we are going to challenge is known as threats. So through the environment appraisal, we can identify the opportunities and threats existing in an organization. The next one, we can conduct SWOT analysis. SWOT analysis means we can identify the strength, weakness, opportunities and threats. Environment appraisal is key input for conducting SWOT analysis, which helps assess an organization's strength, weakness, opportunities, threats and threats. This analysis aids in strategic decision making. So through environmental, it is important to conduct environmental and appraisal to identify the strength, weakness, opportunities and threats of an organization or a business. The next one is the methods for conducting environment appraisal. As we told earlier, we told that environmental appraisal is very important for the strategic planning of an organization or a business. So the methods for environment appraisal are pestle analysis, SWOT analysis, Porter's five forces model, scenario planning, and industry analysis. Now let's discuss about the pestle analysis. Pestle analysis is one of the method for environment appraisal. First one, pestle analysis. P is first and stands for political. It refers to the influence of government policies, laws and regulations on an organization. This includes taxation policies, trade regulations, labor laws, government stability, etc. Uh, if we are going through an real life example, once GST was introduced, it affected so many of organizations and business. This kind of tax policies, etc., is an example of political factors affecting the or political factors that influencing a business or creates impact on a business or an organization. The next one is economic. Economic refers to uh, economic conditions that impact an organization. It includes interest rate, inflation rate, unemployment rate, economic growth or recession is known as economical factors. Then the next one is social factors. It refers to the cultural and social trends that can impact an organization. These include factors such as demographic changes, aging, population, etc. Changes in consumer behavior, social attitudes towards certain products or services. As we tell an example of Maggie. Once Maggie had a huge problem about its lead content, then the attitude of the society towards Maggie is entirely changed, which can be tell as a social factor affecting a business or an organization. The next one is technological analysis. Refers to the impact of technology on an organization. This can include factors such as advances in technology, changes in communication methods, e-commerce trends, cyber security threats, etc. Uh, as a technological factor, we can choose an example as an AI invention. AI creates lots of job opportunities and reduce lots of uh, circumstances in so many institutions. Um, the invention of AI creates efficiency in so many organizations, reduces its workload, etc. So we can tell as AI, artificial intelligence, as a technological factor affecting an business environment or an organization. The next one is environmental appraisal. Environment factors refers to factors that makes impact on organization. Environmental factors that make impacts on organization. These include climate change, natural disasters, uh, government regulations around environmental issues, public attitude towards environmental sustainability, etc. We can take an example of flood in 2018 and COVID in 2019. Uh, they change, they make drastic impacts on so many business and organizations, so which can be tell as an example for the environmental factors that affect the business or an organization. The last one is legal factors, refers to the impact of laws and regulations on an organization. This can include the factors such as employment law, employment minimum wages act, etc. are the examples of legal factors affecting a business or an organization. Health and safety regulations, intellectual property laws, etc. In some sources, the pestle analysis also can be or said instead pestle. We can set pestle, and pestle instead we can set pestle. And the next method of conducting environment appraisal, we can discuss about SWOT analysis. SWOT means S stands for strength, W stands for weakness, O stands for opportunity, and T stands for threat. It is known as SWOT analysis. In strength, we can set what our advantages, what's working well. In the SWOT analysis, the first one is strength. Strength means what are our advantages, what's working well. It includes the internal capabilities and resources, competitive advantages, positive attributes and qualities, etc. Uh, if we tell with the example of Nike, its strength, one of its strength is the strong brand recognition. Nike is one of the most recognized and valued brands in the world, with a brand value of over the $30 billion. Innovative product is another strength of Nike. Nike is known for its innovative and high quality products, which helps to drive sales and customer loyalty. So, as we told, strength includes the capabilities and resources of an organization or business, competitive advantage, etc. When we coming to the weakness, we can arise the questions like what abilities we are lacking and what are we starting to struggle. These questions can be asked when we come to the weakness point. The weakness is internal limitations and vulnerabilities, areas for improvement, and negative attributes or qualities can be said as the weakness. When we come to the mm, case of Nike, its weaknesses are um, high labor cost, dependence on few suppliers, high market expenses. Nike faces high market expenses. Nike's strong marketing and advertising strategy comes with high expenses which can impact its profitability. And the another weakness of Nike, limited dependency on celebrity endorsements. Nike relies heavily on celebrity endorsement, which can be a weakness if the celebrities are involved in scandals or controversies. It will affect the Nike's sales and Nike's business environment. Then the next we have to come to opportunities. In opportunities, we can make or raise the questions: what trends work in our favor, and how do we exploit the available opportunities? These questions can be raised when we are talking about opportunities. These includes opportunities includes the external factors that can be leveraged, emerging trends and technologies, new market and partnerships can be tell as the opportunities. While we coming again to Nike, we can tell that the opportunities of Nike includes the growing demand for athletic wear. The demand for athletic wear is growing rapidly, driven by the trend towards health and wellness. E-commerce growth. Nike can leverage the growth of e-commerce to sell its product directly to customers and reduce its reliance on third-party retailers. This is the opportunity analysis of Nike. So next we have to go through threats. While we're talking about threat, what could be go wrong? Who might challenge us? These questions can be arised, and threats includes the external factors that can harm the organization. Competitive threats, economic, social, and environmental risk all are included. Uh, and again, we coming to the Nike. Its threats. One of its threats is about the intense competition. The sportswear industry is highly competitive with many other brands such as Adidas and Under Armour competing for market share. And another threat for Nike can be changes in the consumer preference. Consumer preferences can change rapidly, and Nike must stay ahead of these changes to remain relevant. These all are included in the second method or another method of environment appraisal as a SWOT analysis. The next method of environmental appraisal is Porter's five factors model. When we discussing about for Porter's five-factor model, the five factors or forces are threat of new entrants, bargaining power of the suppliers, bargaining power of the buyers, threat of substitute products, and competitive rivalry among the existing customers. While we are talking about the threat of new entrants, it includes this force look at how easy or difficult it is for new entrants companies to enter into the industry. Here the competition sorry, the threat is very high. It is easy for new competitors to enter, and it is difficult to new competitors is to enter is termed as uh, threat is low. When it is easy to enter new companies into the market, the threat is high. And when it is difficult to new entrance to the market, the threat is very low. Factors that can be affect these forces include barriers to entry, economies of scale, brand loyalty, etc. Barriers to entry means high startup cost, regulations, etc. Economics of scale, large companies have an advantage, and the brand loyalty, customers are loyal to the existing brands. These are the factors including the threats of new entrants. Then the bargaining power of suppliers means this force look at how much power suppliers have to negotiate prices and terms. If suppliers have a lot of power, they can demand higher prices or better terms. If the suppliers have little power, they may have to accept lower prices or less favorable terms. Factors that can affect bargaining power of suppliers include concentration of suppliers. Few suppliers means they have more power. Differentiation of products. Unique products give suppliers more power. Switching cost. Switching cost means buyers are locked in. The next one is bargaining power of buyers. This force look at how much power customers have to negotiate prices and terms. If the customers have a lot of power, they can demand lower prices or better terms. If the customers have little power, they may have to accept the higher prices or less favorable terms. Factors that can affect this force include concentration of buyers. Few buyers means they have more power. Differentiation of products. Unique products give buyers less power. And switching cost. Low switching cost means buyers can easily switch. And the other force is threat of substitute products. This force look at how easily customers can switch to alternative products or services. If substitutes are readily available, the threat is high. If the substitutes are not available or not attractive, the threat is low. The factors affecting these forces: availability of substitutes or services that can meet the same needs, attractiveness of substitutes, more appealing or cost effective, switching cost. And the next and final force is competitive rivalry among the existing competitors. This force looks at how intense the competition among existing companies in the industry. If competition is fierce, companies may engage in price wars or other forms of competition. If the competition is mild or less, companies may be able to maintain prices and market share. Factors that can affect this force include number of the competitors. Many competitors means more intense competition. Differentiation of product. Unique products can reduce the competition. Growth rate of the industry. Slow growth means companies may compete more intensely for market share. Uh, While we coming to the next method of environmental appraisal, scenario planning. Scenario planning is a powerful tool in advanced strategic management that helps organization to prepare uncertain future by imagining and preparing for different possible scenarios. The process of scenario planning includes define the scope and objectives or identifying the focal questions, assessing the key drivers, developing multiple future scenarios, crafting scenario narratives, identifying the future options for testing strategies against the scenarios, and refining and developing improved strategies. Before we are telling about scenario planning, we can check what is simply a scenario means. A scenario refers to the imaginary description of a possible future state or situation. We are anticipating or imagining a future situation or a future state, which is known as scenario. And the scenario planning process, the first one, as we told us, identifying the focal question. Identifying the focal question means identify the key issues or challenges that an organization want to address through the scenario planning. Define the scope of the scenario planning exercise. Example, industry, market, and technology. Establish clear objectives of scenario planning process, which is known as define the scope and objectives or identifying the focal question. Second procedure is assessing the key drivers, which means gather the data and information, collect the relevant data and information about the organization, identify the key trends, drivers and uncertainties that could impact the organization's future. The third step is developing multiple future scenarios, which means identify the key uncertainties, which means analyze the data and information gathered to identify key uncertainties that could impact the organization's future. Prioritize the uncertainties based on their potential impact. The next step is creating scenario narratives, which means creating the storylines for the scenario. Develop a detailed storyline for each scenario theme. Describe the key events, trends, drivers that shape the scenario. Ensures that the storylines are consistent and coherent. The next process is identifying future options for testing, which means develop the detailed storyline for each scenario theme. Describe the key events, trends, and drivers that shape the scenario. Ensure that the storylines are consistent and uh, coherent. The next step is analyze and evaluate or test the strategies against the scenarios, which means analyze and evaluate the scenarios. Analyze each scenario to identify the potential opportunities and threats. Evaluate the scenario based on their likelihood and potential impact. Identify the key implications for the organization. The next step is refining and developing the improved strategies, which means developing the strategic options. They use the insights gained from the scenario analysis to develop strategic options for the organization. Ensure that the strategic options are flexible and adaptable to different scenarios. Ensure that the developed strategies are flexible and are adaptable to the different scenarios. The final step is to monitor, um, monitor and review on refining and developing the improved strategies. Continuously monitor the external environment and review the scenarios to ensure that they remain relevant. If it is not relevant or if it is not efficient, then update the scenarios and strategic options as a necessary to reflect the changing circumstances. According to the changing circumstances, we are we make able to change it according to different circumstances. This is known as scenario planning. The industrial analysis can be as similar to the pestle analysis. It includes economic, socio-culture, technological, legal, global, and environmental. Economic also we discussed, analyze the economic environment including GDP growth rate, inflation rate, interest rate, unemployment rate, trade policies, etc. Socio-cultural means analyzing the socio-cultural environmental includes demographics, cultural values and norms existing in the society, lifestyle trends. Different people have different lifestyle, so lifestyle trends, social attitudes and behaviors, etc., are coming under socio-cultural factors. Then technological factors, we already discussed the emerging technologies, R&D investments, innovation rates, digital transformation, etc. In legal point of view, already discussed the legal environment, including factors such as laws and regulations, intellectual property protection, employment laws, etc. Coming to the global, analyze the global environment. Includes the factors such as global trade agreements, international relations, global economic trends, cultural differences and similarities, etc. Environment, analyzing the environment, including factors such as climate change, sustainability trends, environmental regulations, natural disasters, etc. By analyzing these external factors, organizations can gain a better understanding of their opportunities and threats in their environment and develop the strategies responded to them. So, it is very important to conduct environment appraisal in every organization to identify and assess and evaluate in what condition the business is existing and what have to be forecast and to forecast what have to be change for the future growth and for future growth and for sustaining the business, and identify the threats and mitigate the risk. For every business organization, it is essential to conduct environment appraisal, and it is very important for every organization and every business. Thank you.